2/22/22. It's going to be my favorite day of the year. 2/22/22, but 2/22/21 this year will be fine. Good morning to you. Get up, get going. There's a lot good going on in the world. Moderna has announced, okay, we're over 32 million Americans with the vaccine. That's 10%. We're doing pretty good, roughly 10% of the people that can get it. We're not vaccinating children. Please remember that you need to get this vaccine. The U.S. Health Agency is alarmed by the slow vaccination of African Americans. Figures published by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, according to the Financial Times, show that while black people do account for 15% of COVID-19 deaths, they only account for 5% of inoculations given the first month of the vaccine program. That statistically means, let me translate for you, black people need to get in line and get the vaccine, just like white people, just like every person who is over 65 or with an underlying condition, or a frontline worker or a medical worker. You need to go get the vaccine. You need to register with your local authority. You need to do it. It will save your life, even if you're healthy as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle, as Dwayne likes to say, since he's 70, and they said that when he was in grade school. Even if you're fit as a fiddle, you need to go get it. Perfectly safe. And Moderna, by the way, great news from them. They're going to boost the vaccine supplies by adding doses to vials. So this is going to confuse the Steelers fans, but the number of doses you put in a vial makes the distribution easier. And they're going to put in 15 doses as opposed to the current 10 doses. That reflects the fact that the company has been ramping up its production. It's getting better everywhere. Operation Warp Speed has indeed worked. In Great Britain, Boris Johnson is pushing to reopen schools as COVID cases begin to fall. This is all good news. And it's got nothing to do with politics, friends. It also good news, studies apparently show that if you've had COVID-19, Dwayne, if you've had COVID-19, you're only going to need one dose. You're only going to need one dose. The British variant is spreading rapidly, but is thus far not resistant to the vaccine. And the federal mask mandate is about to take effect for airplane. I don't think I've only been on an airplane 3 times since March. 3 times. I used to fly 3 times a week. 3 times since March. Everybody had masks on anyway. I don't know why we're going to have to mandate it, but apparently we're going to have to. There are bozos among us. Now then, the biggest story of the day, Susan Collins and 9 Republicans went to see President Biden and Vice President Harris yesterday about a compromise. This is Susan Collins at the end of the meeting.
All of us are concerned about struggling families, teetering small businesses, an overwhelmed healthcare system, getting vaccines out and into people's arms, and strengthening our economy and addressing the public health crisis that we face. So I think it was an excellent meeting, and we're very appreciative that as his first official meeting in the Oval Office, the president chose to spend so much time with us in a frank and very useful discussion. Finally, let me just say that we have demonstrated in the last year that we can come together on a bipartisan package dealing with the COVID crisis. In fact, we've done that not just once or twice, we've done it 5 times. And I am hopeful that we can once again pass a 6th bipartisan COVID relief package.
So that's exactly what, but not get rolled. Don't do stupid stuff. Do not bail out public employee pension funds. Do not do that. And Pat Toomey is on CNBC arguing, we're not going to do stupid stuff. Cut number 6.
Look, it looks to me like, so first of all, we haven't seen specific details, but we've seen general discussion. And it looks to me like a whole lot more of what we just did. Literally just 36 days ago, I think it was, we passed $1 trillion spending bill, spending money on on health care, on unemployment insurance, on direct payments, on nutrition supplements, PPP loan. We did all of that to the tune of almost $1 trillion after, as you know, $3 trillion we did last spring. So why we need a few, literally weeks later, to come back and do it all over again, I don't get that. Most of this money, by the way, hasn't even really been spent yet. So I just don't think there's a good case for redoing this, maybe even on a bigger scale, if according to President Biden, if he had his way. I think it's a bad idea.
So Senator Toomey's a no. Let me explain something. So there's not going to be a rollover. Here's where the senator is wrong. Part of the Biden compromise package is extending unemployment benefits, enhanced unemployment benefits to June. If you've been screwed by this disease, if you've lost your job, you're a restaurant worker, I've got no problem with that. If they target the money to small businesses that got screwed and are barely hanging on, I got no problem with that. If they make the relief targeted to the poorest people who are making $50,000 or less in a family of four and they've had no money, I've got no problem with that. I do not want money, and the Republicans should make them go through reconciliation if they're trying to bail out public employee pension funds. That is where I draw the line, and where I hope they will draw the line. I don't think, by the way, this is going to work. I think Biden intends to get the money to the states so that they can make solvent their vastly expensive buyouts of public employees. I think they're going to shore up the retirement system for people who stopped working long ago. I think that's what's going to happen, but it's worth a shot. Let me take a look at the markets early, brought to you by Birch Gold. Birch Gold is where you go to diversify. I think you ought to have at least 10% of your holdings in precious metals. I think you ought to physically own that money in gold or silver, or you ought to have Birch Gold open a physical metals, precious metals IRA 401k for you. They will send you a free information kit on how to do that if you go to hughgold.com or text my name, Hugh, to 474747. Pretty easy to do. Hugh to 474747 or go to hughgold.com. They'll handle it. That's who I buy my gold from. 10%. Diversify. Gold is at $1,850 an ounce this morning. Yesterday, the Dow went up 229 points, and the NASDAQ went up 332 points. The S&P went up 59 points. Now, why did the NASDAQ go up 2.5%? Because the big tech is rocking it. Amazon went up $136 a share yesterday, up 4.25%. They're going to go up again today, and then they report after the bell. We'll see if they go up tomorrow or not. But tech is having this month, this quarter, and it's going to continue for another quarter because the people are going to stay indoors. They're not going to go shopping for another 4 or 5 months till everybody's vaccinated. And people have changed from going to the theaters to watching their movies on HBO Max. People have changed. They're not going to Macy's. They're going to Amazon. They're not going out to the shopping center. They're going to Target and Costco. I own Amazon, so I like this, but no matter who you are, gold is going to be your friend when inflation comes. Google went up 3.5% yesterday. Apple went up 1.56. Facebook went up 1.42. Tesla, which is a crazy stock, went up 5.83. So I just think this is great, but it means inflation will come. Now, the 10-year Treasury has not moved. 10-year Treasury remains under 1.1%. So it's a great time to refinance and all that. But gold at $1,851 an ounce, great entry point. And you get into it at hughgold.com or by texting my name, Hugh, to 474747. When we come back, America, I'm going to talk to you about Marjorie Taylor Greene.